goes aside from my soul. There goes aside, there goes aside. Now there goes aside from my soul. There goes aside from my soul. There goes aside, there goes aside. There goes aside from my soul. I think it's all angels just walk by. 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 There goes aside from my soul. There goes aside, there goes aside. Now there goes aside from my there goes aside. There goes aside, there goes aside. Now there goes aside from my soul. So.
1, 2, 3, jump!
Get wild.
Chiefs Kingdom. It's time for All Chiefed Up with your hosts, Steve and Mike Williams.
You're listening to All Chiefed Up, the best damn Kansas City Chiefs podcast in the kingdom.
Chiefs Kingdom, what's up, baby? Noah Gray here, tight end for your Kansas City Chiefs. You're listening to All Chiefed Up with Mike and Steve Williams.
Kingdom, it's All Chiefed Up. This is Mike. I'm here with Steve today. We're doing another live stream. We're going to have Jason Dunn on here in a few minutes, Steve, It's going to be a good one. So thanks everybody for being here. We see you guys in the chat. We already got a 5-bomb from Harry Mills before the chat even started, Steve. Harry is showing up today. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about Brett Veach. I called him Breach. Brett Veach.
Breach.
Veach give a little bit of a live presser today, Steve. He was dropping a little bit of what could be considered draft hints. Although Veach doesn't drop a lot of hints, Steve, but I'll tell you some of the stuff he said, and I'll let you respond to it. You didn't actually get to check it out today, but
I didn't. No.
They asked him about his signings of Omenihu, Jawan Taylor, the safety, Tranquil, a lot of different guys. I said the safety, then Tranquil. That sounded like I said Tranquil was the safety, but I meant to say Mike Edwards, the safety. Okay, but anyways,
right.
He said they signed Jawan Taylor and that he has a chance to play left tackle. But if they draft a left tackle, he's going to move him back to right tackle. And he actually mentioned Darian Kennard, a Kentucky guy, Steve, that is still in the mix to maybe play a little bit of right tackle along with some of the other ones on the roster. What do you think about that?
Man, I'm pumped for it. I've been wanting Darian Kennard to get his chance ever since he got here. I know he had to take it a little slow. He come out of that run-heavy offense at Kentucky, so he had to adjust to what's going on at the NFL level, and not only that, but in Andy Reid's offense, which is pass-happy. But, I mean, he's had his time. He's sit back. He's watched the other guys, and I think it'll be good if he can get in there and compete, man. I'm excited for it. I think he's got what it takes. He could potentially be a right tackle, or if they need to use him at guard, he can do that as well.
Yeah, for sure. Harry, like I said before, what's up, Harry, man? Good to see you here. He says protect Patrick Mahomes with the 5. And Brett Veach kind of alluded to that today as well. I thought it was very indicative that he said, when asked if they would possibly trade up in the draft, he said he didn't see them trading up too far. So does that mean, with that being said, too far, is that like number 15? Is that number 20? We got to decipher what too far means, because Broderick Jones is probably going to go before pick 20. Paris Johnson's going to be off the board before then. It's very possible you could see a Darnell Wright or an Anton Harrison sneak up into that 20 range. And so with him wanting to pick tackle, we believe, and then having all these guys come in for workouts. We actually posted a video today about Zay Flowers being there yesterday and throwing with Mahomes. Go watch that if you haven't. The algorithm's kind of burying it today. Most of you guys probably didn't even see that we released that video. But yeah, so wide receiver or offensive tackle, Steve, which one do you think he's going to do? He's saying that he's not going to move up very far if that's a possibility. So does that take the Broderick Jones out of the equation here?
I don't think so. I don't think that he means he's not going to trade up just by not going too far. I think what he's saying by that is he don't have a specific target that he feels like he has to get up really high for. I think they have a list of players, and if they make it to a certain point, they will go up and get them, depending on who it is, what the value is, and are they still on the board. I think what he meant by not going up too high was they just don't have a guy that they absolutely have to have, and they're going to jump up and get before everybody else gets them. I think it's going to go by value on who's there on the board, and if somebody's in striking distance and he thinks they're worth it, I think he'll pull the trigger.
Yeah, I totally agree. Edits, what's up, my man? Can't wait for the live stream. The same. We like getting on here and talking Chiefs with you guys. It's always fun. Richie says, what's up, brothers? CO brothers.
Go
What's
on,
up,
Richie?
We haven't heard from you in a little while, it seems. Maybe we're just
been
getting
around.
busy and I don't pay attention. Chiefs Fanatic says LFG. Let's go, Chiefs Fanatic. Thanks for being here.
Go, baby.
Bruce is in the house. Bruce, hello, Chiefs Nation. What's up, Bruce?
What's up, Bruce?
Chiefer 65 toss power trap is in the building. Pairing him with CJ on third downs, Veach on Omenihu. He did say that. So that brings us up to the next point. Steve, he said that he liked Omenihu to come in, and he said specifically pairing him with Chris Johnson on the inside. So I thought that was a little weird too, because Chris Johnson rushing on the inside. I said Chris Johnson. My God, it's been a long day. Chris Jones. We've seen Chris Jones actually move out to the outside on third down and rush.
Right.
And we thought Omenihu would come get the quarterback on the outside, and we would draft somebody on the inside, such as like Elijah Cansey or maybe somebody like that could get to the quarterback from the inside. But with him saying specifically Veach, Omenihu on the inside, does that mean
I don't think that's what he means.
You don't think
I don't think that's what he means. No, maybe he's just pairing them up on the same side as Chris Jones. I think that's what maybe he means by this.
I don't know. I think he specifically said no. He says pairing with Jones inside.
Oh, okay. I could see that. I didn't know that. I mean, he obviously can go on the inside. I don't think that's out of the question. But I don't know. He's a little thin for that. We'll see how that goes. But I
Maybe
think he
we're
can
all
move up and
reading
down the
that
line.
wrong. Maybe we're all reading it wrong. How do you guys take it? Do you think he said it as pairing with Jones inside, as in Chris Jones will be inside, Omenihu will be outside, or do you see it as pairing them both as defensive tackles on the inside? Let us know in the comments what you think, because we're all reading into that a totally different way. Could be wrong. Let's see. We got Aaron here. What's up, Aaron? Let's go with the D-Hop. Hey, we have our first D-Hop talk today in the chat. D-Hop.
There's always got to be one.
Hey, I like the idea of D-Hop. Again, we said that if it happens, it's probably going to be draft time. Brent is here. What's good? What's good, Brent? Good to see you here, my man. Appreciate you being here. We got one from Edits. Edits, how do you guys get these prospects? I guess you're referring to Cansey. We reached out to his people. His people talked to our people. We made it happen. It's just one of those things. Vindel. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Vindel? I'm going to say Vindel. I think it sounds cool. Vindel Malone. What's up, Williams Brothers? I'm eating Big T's Barbecue in KC. We've never had Big T's Barbecue, but that sounds awesome.
Barbecue sounds good. I've been hungry all day. I was telling Mike how I have a taco addiction. I've been thinking about tacos all day.
For sure. Chris.
What's going on, Chris? Good to see you, man.
What's up, buddy? Hope you've had a good one today. Gary is here. Gary, hey, guys. Go Chiefs. Gary, good to see you back, man. If Veach plans to draft offensive tackle high, he's going to pump the hype on Kennard. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, for
Maybe
sure.
he's pushing Kennard, so we think that he's not going to take it. That's
Could
a good
be a bit
idea.
of a smoke screen there. Yeah, for sure. Hey, I have to step away for 2 seconds, Mike. I'll be right back.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I'm just going to keep reading comments here. Richie, just filler speech. He's keeping things close to the vest, but let's go. Yeah, I agree. I think it was just something today he come out with, but it was good to actually hear from people in the organization. We can sit on here and talk about it all day long, and that doesn't necessarily mean we know what in the crap we're talking about, because we don't. We all speculate, and that's what we do. We don't really have ears in the building. I don't know if anybody has ears in the building. I'd say probably not. Brent says, Jets are eyeing Broderick Jones. I really think the Jets are looking at a tackle. I think if you're going to make the move to get Rodgers, you're going to have to protect him. You got to win now. That's probably where they're heading there. Chiefs need to draft Broderick Jones. That would be pretty sweet. Again, I don't know how high we'd have to get up to there, man. Chiefer actually did say he discussed his inside with Jones. That's how I was reading it. Steve was saying maybe Chris Jones inside, him on the outside. But I was seeing it the other way. What's up, Trav? Good to see you, buddy. Caught alive. Go Veach. I mean, go Chiefs. Same, man. I think this is Veach's time of the year to shine. Is it not? Like when I was watching his presser today, guys, I felt like Brett Veach was like, he was eating it up, man. This is his time to show that he's the big man, dude. Edits, it's cool. I just didn't understand, didn't see it the first time, but we got it. Jay, what's up, buddy? Jay's here. Nice to see you. Did somebody put some live? I could have swore I seen this come up on the screen. I didn't see it. Chris Wright gifted 1 All Chiefed Up membership. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate you, man. You help grow the All Chiefed Up channel by spreading those memberships. We appreciate it. Yeah, guys, we do got memberships going. I think they start at $4.99, and there's different things you can get, man. You get to use some cool. I'm sure somebody in here, maybe Chris, will start throwing up some All Chiefed Up emojis down here that you get if you sign up for the membership. But yeah, man, thanks, Chris, for putting out the gifted membership. That's awesome. Steve's back. I seen where he covers the camera.
I'm back.
What'd you do? Did you do something really? Did you do something vulgar or something? Like,
you'll never know. That's why I hit it. You'll never know.
Oh my God, I don't know what this guy's doing. We can't leave this guy alone by himself.
Nobody wants to see the random backdrop, man. I just thought I would, be nice. Where are we at on the chat, man? I'm a little behind now.
We're completely caught up. We're caught up. Cheapers says, hi, Gary. Chris Wright says, oh, Chris is showing off the emojis. On our end, we just see it say ACU, go KC, GOAT, let's go. Like, we don't actually get to see the emojis from StreamYard.
I know what they look like, though. We know what they look like.
But we know what they look like. So, yeah, man, we're just sitting here waiting on Jason Dunn. He should be here in just a little bit. He's a busy guy. He did agree to come on tonight. But while we're waiting on him, we got another cool one coming up. You guys wanted to see us on Saturdays. So we're going to do it all Chiefed Up Saturday Night Live, as usual. And I think we're going to have Matt Lane from KC Sports Network. He's coming on. He's going to talk with us a little bit on Saturday evening. So do not miss that one, dude. That's going to be a good one. We're going to pick his thoughts about some of these draft picks coming up and different things.
Yeah.
Edit says y'all should get Bryce Young on, LOL.
I
Bryce
don't know
Young's
if we
probably
got that much pull.
Yeah, I think he's too famous for us, and he thinks he's going number one, so he doesn't need to come on and run his draft stock. Because I would ask him something really stupid, and it might run his draft stock. So,
not to mention he's going to be like Kansas City Chiefs related. They're not picking me. I ain't going.
We're not going on to that. Kalijah was here. He was smart. He come on. He wanted to raise that draft stock, but he wanted Veach to come get him, and he wants to be paired with Chris Jones, and who wouldn't, by the way? He says with Chris Jones, he's going double-digit sacks year one. They can't stop him.
It'd be a possibility. I mean, why wouldn't that be ideal for a defensive tackle to come in beside somebody like Jones?
Right. Richie says, do you think they will trade out of their spot or stay three positions I believe in need? Oh, three positions I believe in need are receiver, tackle, and edge. What do you say? Steve, what do you think?
Sorry. Let's see. Man, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to trade out or not, but like I was saying earlier, I think if there's somebody that they like that has fallen just a little bit and they're in striking distance, they'll go get it. But I don't think there's a specific target, to be honest. Brett Veach don't normally have a specific target if you think about it in the drafts. Like every time we think we know what he's going to do, he does something completely different. Last year, we had no idea he was going to go for a corner and trade up for a corner. So you just never really know with him, man. So honestly, I don't know. Personally, I would like to see them grab one of them good tackles, but I don't think it's 100% necessary either. I think it's just going to be best player available, more than likely.
Yep. The presser today, somebody asked Brett Veach, talk about trading out of the first round. It seemed a little forced when he answered. He answered with like, we're not opposed to it. If the offer's there, if the player's there we don't want, we'll trade out. And then he give a spiel about that'll keep people coming in on day two and keep them interested in the draft,
right.
If he works on day two. But I don't think trading out is something they want to do. I really think that with all the draft picks we got, it would make more sense to trade up, not trade back and get more. So unless you can get something really good or a player, again, I don't know where Arizona sits in the draft, but what if Arizona wants to throw D-Hop and, maybe a second-round pick to come back into the first at the end and take another player, and then maybe we slide out.
So many possibilities, dude.
There's possibilities. That would be pretty sweet.
It's unlimited what could happen. You never really know. So, I mean, it's so hard to try to predict what happens in a draft. It's just there's so much going on, and obviously so much we don't know about.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. I don't know. I think we trade up if anything. I'm kind of with you, Chris. I do think trading up's probably where they go here.
I don't think they're going to drop back out of the first, no.
Yep. Guys, is there any chance Chiefs can draft in the top 15? There's always a chance with Brett Veach. I mean, there's a chance. We got so much draft capital, man. We really do. I just feel like it's a matter of who we rank the highest on our board when it comes to tackle or wide receiver. And I'm going to give you guys the insight again. We've said it over and over. We're hearing from everybody, be it insiders, whoever it is. They're saying that the wide receiver class is not as good as last year, and that talking heads and social media is pumping these wide receivers up. There's a lot of people saying, you're never going to get Zay Flowers at 31. You're never going to get Quentin Johnston at 31. The only one we're hearing as a lock to go in the top 20 is Jackson Smith and Jigba right now. He's the only name coming in as a lock in that top 20. And this is exactly why Goodell and the NFL did not invite Quentin Johnston to be part of the draft. They did invite Zay Flowers, so they do think Zay Flowers will get drafted in the first round. But they did not invite Quentin Johnston because they said they didn't want another Aaron Rodgers moment where he's sitting there till day 2 or day 3. That's also a little bit of insight on Keon White. A lot of people don't like Keon White. Matt Lane, we're going to talk to him on Saturday. He does not like Keon White. He thinks he'll be there till the 3rd round. I think that's a little bit ludicrous. The NFL knows a little more than we do, and I think they shop around. They don't want to embarrass these kids on draft night. So I think somebody is interested in Keon White there in the 1st.
That's a possibility, man. Keon White, he gets overlooked. I can't wait for Saturday night with Matt Lane on. He's not a fan of Keon White at all. He said that he reminds him of Breland Speaks, and you like Keon White, so I'm going to stir that pot for sure. So I hope you're prepared for that one.
I
You
like
drinking
Keon
there?
White.
I can hear it fizzing.
I'm just drinking our
Fizzing away.
sponsor today. Our sponsor, Diet Mountain Dew. Not really our sponsor, but if you want to come at us, Diet Mountain Dew, we'll appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Diet Dew today. I can't do the non-diet because I just don't do it anymore. Another thing, I give up the sweet tea a few years ago. Think about this: a Southern guy give up sweet tea. Steve, can you believe it?
Hey,
I was
it's
committed.
tough.
I went unsweet.
I can't do it. Still have to get it sometimes. G-Dog says, been checking you guys out from time to time. You're starting to grow on me. Hey, G-Dogs, good to see you. Yeah, we're trying to grow. We're trying to grow.
Hey, we're growing on him specifically, which means he hated us in the beginning. Why did you hate G-Dog? Just because I want to know. Like, me and Steve have this conversation all the time. We were like, Chiefs Kingdom does not take to us very well. And I don't know if it's because we give out, like, our opinions. Like, if we're opinion-based too much. I don't know if we're just ugly. Maybe we just, we're not from Kansas City, so nobody takes us seriously. I don't know what it is. But if you could just throw it in the thing, that would be sweet. Like, I'd love to know. Like, we can always get better here, and we don't take offense to it. You could say you're the ugliest dudes in the world and you don't know shit about football.
Right.
I don't think I can say that on air, but
everyone always tells me that I come off kind of like an a-hole, and I don't know why. I don't mean to. It's just my personality, I suppose. I don't know. Elite Cleaning Tulsa. With the draft coming to KC, it's a fun time to reflect on draft night 2017. I still remember KC move up and thought for sure we were selecting Watson. Wow, what a game changer selecting Pat. Dude, we're right there with you. I remember when they traded up, we thought they were going after Watson as well. And now I had read something maybe the day or a couple days before the draft where they said something about Patrick Mahomes, moving up to get Patrick Mahomes. If we talked about it, and we're like, I don't know, it'd be cool, but I don't know if that's going to happen. And sure enough, it did. And it was mind-blowing at first. It was like a lot to take in. But gosh, did it not work out great? I mean, what a pick, baby.
We thought it was going to be Watson. For every bit of the positive media they put out for Watson, hyping him up, they were saying stories about his family. I'm sure he's a good guy. I'm sure he is. But boy, did they miss the mark on those character questions on some of these, 2 and 3 years down the road. It was crazy. Like, we all thought Watson might have been that guy the way they were hyping him, but I'm so glad Veach and them
talk about dodging
it.
a bullet. Talk about dodging a bullet, man.
But Steve, that's perfect. That's exactly why we say we all do mock drafts and we all do this, but it's about, a lot of it is about character, and it's about those inside interviews that they get that we don't get to see. So some of these guys that we're like, man, we would never take them in the first round, they could be blowing it up in the interviews and making big fans out of Brett Veach behind the scenes, and that's just stuff we don't see. So
yeah, for sure.
I totally agree. Edit says, I like that you don't have that big a following so you can address our comments. Thanks, Edits. We'll stay really horrible.
Even if we grow, when we grow,
we're going to address
We're still going to try to get as many as we can. I mean, we miss a lot now, to be honest. It's kind of tough to keep up with every one of them, but we do try to talk to everybody. Same with our videos. If you get in the comments on those, we always try to respond, even if it's just a quick little, hey, we see you, thank you. That's what we try to do, man. It's just, sometimes time is limited.
Yep. J7 says Matt Lamb. Come on now. He's one of the worst Chiefs writers I've ever. What? Come on now. We can't be that mean. I mean, you got to, we don't agree with everybody, but that's why you get on here and talk.
Right. That's what I was going to say. It'll be interesting to have, like, we have people on that have different perspectives than us. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yep.
Why be in our own echo chamber when we can learn something maybe or not?
Anthony says, why do you think Veach gives up to move up?
In an ideal world. What is it? Is it a fourth round that we have 2 picks?
We got 2 fourths.
Possibly one of those.
Yeah, the 7ths. We got 2 7ths. Those aren't really valuable.
Or if he has to, maybe the 3rd since he has 2 fourths, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, it depends on how high you want to move up. If you start moving to that top 15, you're going to be giving up your 2nd round pick and or a pick next year. And I don't know if we want to do that. Richie, the old rub and tug. Yeah, that's a Deshaun right there. That's just how he is, man.
I forgot we were talking about Deshaun Watson. I was like, what's Richie doing right now? What are we talking about?
Chris says, I think we trade up if anything. I totally agree.
We discussed that. Yeah, for sure. That's what they're going to do. They're going to trade up if they move.
Right. Okay, so he says, I think we can get to 16. I've seen KC and Wash swapping at Bleacher Report. We could come up to 16. That's the Commanders off the top of my head, is it not? The Commanders, I think they're looking at Deontay Banks, that corner. Now, if they trade down to 31, they're not getting Deontay Banks. He will be gone before then. He's too good of a prospect, in my opinion. Some people have him out of the top 30. I think they're crazy. I think Deontay Banks is getting picked in the first round. So it's whatever. Brent says Diet Mountain Dew's better than the regular one. It is, Brent. Thank you for acknowledging. And Gary also does diet. And you know what? You're right, Gary. Let's see. Somehow I got completely just backed up on this. Okay, here we are. Jay Kelsey, I live in the Kingdom State and love your guys' show. Thanks, man. Dude, I feel like me and Steve, I don't know, maybe like if past lives exist, I think maybe we were like in a past life, we lived in KC and we were, I don't know how far back our past life would have to go. Like the Chiefs wasn't even around before like what, the 50s, 60s. Like I don't know when exactly you can count it. When do you count it? Do you count it all the way back in the Texans days? Where do you count all this to?
I don't know.
But yeah,
I don't know. It's just it's in our DNA. It's always has been. Maddie with the 5 bomb.
With the 5 bomb. Finally caught a live stream, Steve. You guys rock. By the way, I'm loving my ACU hoodie. Dude,
nice,
you got an ACU hoodie. I don't even have one yet.
We don't even have one yet, yeah.
They haven't even sent me one yet. Dude, if you don't care, take a picture of that hoodie. Take a picture of you in the hoodie and email it to us at allchiefedup, just allchiefedup@gmail.com. We may throw that up on something if you don't care. We may throw it up on Twitter or something, promote you, let you be our motto. Make it look good, Maddie. Get a good pose going. Get
the ACU model.
Give the pose.
Hey guys, do us a favor if you're here. Hit that like button for us. Help us get out there a little bit. Also, if you're new here to the channel, hit that subscribe button if you like Chiefs content, man. We try to put out as much as we can. We try to get on live streams as much as we can, talk to everybody, get some interesting people on here. Speaking of, Jason Dunn supposed to be here today. He might have got lost. I'm not for sure. I haven't heard from him yet. But Jason Dunn, everybody knows him from Chiefs Concerns, ex-Chiefs wide receiver. He played with the Chiefs wide receiver, tight end. He played with the Chiefs for, I think, 8 years.
Hey, he would have been a big wide receiver, my man.
I don't know why I keep saying wide receiver instead of tight end. I did that on the live stream the other night when we were talking about the draft prospects. I don't know why I do that.
You know what's cool? I was actually digging around. You know how we always talk about RAS scores, relative athletic scores, right? I actually found one of Jason Dunn, and they had mocked him up as a 10, a perfect RAS score.
No.
That's insane. I swear.
Really?
I think when he come out, he actually ran sub 4.7 as a 40. It was insane.
That's crazy. He was I think he was a 2nd round draft pick. He actually got drafted to the Eagles.
Yes.
Yeah, which is interesting. We'll have to ask him about that Super Bowl if he had any weird feelings about the Super Bowl.
For sure.
He was drafted by the Eagles and played for the Chiefs.
Chiefs Live says, how's everyone doing? Let us know how you guys are doing in the comments. Let us know. Give us a comment. Let us know what you're doing, where you're watching Chiefs from. We might have to bring out the old push pin map tonight, see if we can fill it on up.
Fill it up.
See if we can fill it up. Jack is here. What's up, Jack? Yeah, you guys are just middle of the road runners, and that's the kind of cool because we get so tired of hearing the same crap over and over that you guys come over. I like it, Jack. I think that's a backhand compliment. You're telling me I suck, but it's okay.
No,
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Yeah, we are middle of the pack right now. We're trying to grow, right, Steve? But it's hard.
It's a crowded space. There's a lot of Chiefs content out there. There's a lot of good Chiefs content on YouTube, even. All of it.
Dude,
podcasts,
there's a lot of
everything.
fake Chiefs content on YouTube. Do you guys ever just get these fakes all the time? Like the ones that pop up and say, Chiefs breaking news bomb, and then it puts up a bomb in it, and then I noticed
it has like a robot voice the whole time.
Yeah, but then I noticed they got like 10,000 views, and I'm like, is Chiefs Kingdom really that obsessed that they're out here watching like fake YouTube channels? Like, what's up? I think it's YouTube. YouTube just doesn't know what to promote and what not to promote. They hate us on YouTube. We made them mad, I think, but it's okay.
They don't hate us too much.
Mark Murray, what's up, Mark? Who's your draft crush this year? Steve, you want to take that one? Then I'll go.
Man, I don't have a specific one. I do want a defensive tackle to go in there with Chris Jones. So I think if Kalijah Kancey were to fall 231 and we're still sitting there, I think you have to take him. Or I like Gervon Dexter from Florida, which I've talked about before as well. Two kind of different guys. Kalijah Kancey is a smaller guy with the fastest first step in the entire draft. He's going to get in the backfield. That's all there is to it. Gervon Dexter, he's a little bit slower off the ball, but he reminds me of Chris Jones sometimes, just size, power. And he actually scored, you were talking about the RAS score, Mike. Javon Dexter scored higher than Chris Jones on that relative athletic score. So, yeah, those two would be mine, I suppose. What about you, Mike?
Yeeks. I got a few. I like Zay Flowers. I really do. I've been talking to Steve about Zay Flowers for a while. I thought he was a good fit even before he got down there and caught some balls from Patrick yesterday. I like Zay Flowers. I like what he can do. I actually like Josh Downs out of North Carolina. I think if you can't get Zay Flowers in the first, Josh Downs is a very good possibility if Veach wants to trade up in the second round. He does a lot of the same things. I like Anton Harrison a lot. I think he's a left tackle. I think if you can get your hands on Anton Harrison, he's a left tackle. He's very high character. He's got a few things he doesn't do well, but at the same time, he showed that he will work his butt off to get better, and he did that in his last year at Oklahoma, and actually, it showed up on film. So, yeah, I like those guys. I'll say those for first round draft crushes.
Yeah. What's up, Kip? Good to see you back, man. He says, "What's up? We don't need 10 draft picks." No, they're not going to make all those selections. They're not. He's going to move up and down the draft boards.
We need 15. We're going down.
He's going to move up and down those boards. He will work the boards for sure. I don't think he's taking that many picks. What's the point? Yeah, exactly right on that one for sure.
What's up, Trav? Good to see you. I think I just clicked off the same one you did, Steve. I like Veach's insight on J. Watt and his visit, how practice was different than combine results. Dude, I'm glad he signed back, J. Watt. Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the other J. Watt. You're talking about seventh round pick, J. Watt. Watts Island, right? Are we talking about Watts Island?
J. Watts.
We have so many J. Watts.
Hey,
either way.
If we're talking about Jalen Watson, so I wasn't big on him.
That makes sense. His practice was different than his combine.
Right. I wasn't big on the selection of him, and it wasn't because of him specifically. It was just like another corner. Like, what are we doing? But I didn't think he was going to be what he is, man. Like, I thought he was going to be a practice squad player, no doubt. And then he came in, ended up starting, showed up huge when we needed him. Like, he definitely shut me up, dude. I'm a fan of Jalen Watson for sure.
You know what? A good story. There's a guy. Okay, so if you go back and watch our old video about Jalen Watson, we actually just did like a little quick, we did a story on him, Yeah, and there was a guy that said he was friends with Justin Watson, and that Watson would watch Steve's video every morning saying that he was a practice squad guy, and that would give him motivation to go out and kill it in training camp. I don't know if that's
feel
true
bad
or
about
not,
it.
But it's
hilarious.
hilarious.
I don't feel bad about it either way. I feel like I helped him. I was part of the process, so.
Chiefs getting Will Anderson, says edits. Will Anderson edits. Wake up. You're having a nice dream. I don't think it's going to happen. Gary, hey guys, do you see the Chiefs draft Sam Laporta tight end out of Iowa? I like Sam Laporta. He's fast. He's good.
It's possible. If he's hanging around.
Second? I mean, you'd have to probably take him in the second.
I don't think they will, though. Like, I feel like if he falls maybe really late second or third round, maybe they might move up and grab him if they think he's, hanging around a little too far and they see value there. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I like Sam Laporta.
Right. Syracuse Chris says, "Hey, gents, thanks for your show. Finally caught you live. Appreciate you,
welcome,
Syracuse,
man.
Chris." Syracuse, that means he's in New York. If you're in New York right now, I'm bringing up the pushpin map. We got to get New York on the map. Richie says Hamilton, Missouri. We do have a lot of Missouris. Let's see. Vindell says, "Y'all go ahead, keep doing what you're doing. Everybody in my hood in KC, love y'all. Mike and Steve, the Kentucky bourbon finest." Thanks, buddy.
Thanks,
dude, it's
man.
almost Kentucky Derby time, Steve. Can you believe that?
It's
that's
crazy
my birthday
how
too.
fast. It's crazy how fast the years go by, dude. Because like, I never realized how old I'm getting so fast until like people say what you just said. Like, oh, it's almost time for the Kentucky Derby. I'm like, it just happened. Like, it literally just happened. What are we talking about here? But yeah, it is. And man, that's awesome. I'm glad that y'all dig us in the hood, your hood down there in Kansas City. Kentucky guys, man. I mean, a lot of people think it's strange, but it is what it is. There's a lot of Kentucky connections with the Chiefs, though. There's the Darian Kennard, was it Matt Couch was his name, the linebacker coach?
Jason Dunn.
Jason Dunn. Jason Dunn, yeah. He got
Jason
lost.
must be
it's
busy.
okay.
He must be busy. It's okay.
Man,
We told him half past the hour, so he's got a little bit of time. He can still show up. It's cool.
Yeah,
Jack,
but no, he's
what's
actually
up, buddy?
Jason Dunn's actually just from like 60 miles up the road from where we're at. So he actually was born here, played ball at Eastern Kentucky. So
Yep. He said, yeah, this show's different. We cover some crap of that, some good, some bad. I like to hear the input from you guys. Man, I hear you. We like to give our input. Again, me and Steve talks about how our opinions, sometimes you may not agree with us. Or maybe sometimes Steve agrees with
Right.
something I don't. I pointed this way, but I don't know which side of the screen I'm on. Maybe right here.
there. There
But
you go.
anyway, you know, it secludes 50% of the people that listen to us on an everyday kind of thing. It's kind of like if you turn on and watch like Skip and Shannon. Like, I'd never thought I would agree with Shannon Sharp so much in my life, but Skip's just that much of an idiot. But you see how that works is like, I have to agree with a Denver Bronco like half the time. Chiefs fan, hey, what's up, fellas? Is that Matt Van
What's going
Way?
on,
Is
man?
he back?
Yes, it is. I believe
It
so.
is.
What's going on,
up,
Matt?
Chris should get his own emoji. Chris, you do need your own emoji.
Yeah,
If we
I
can
think he
somehow make
does.
that happen, I'm going to. Chris, we're going to send us your email at some point. Email us your email.
Or just email us. That works.
Yeah, or
too.
just email us. Yeah, I mean, that's what I meant. Shut up. Mike Smith says, from Kansas, moved to Florida, relocating to Paducah just to keep
nice.
it. No, you're not. No, you're not. Quit. Dude, if you come to Paducah,
Paducah's
the next time
pretty
we
far
pass,
south.
Yeah, but if we pass through there, man, we'll hit you up. Oh, a 10 from John F's Wacky. What's up, John?
The 10 bomb, John. Thanks,
This dude's
man.
been
We
here for a
appreciate
long
that.
time, man. We see John
Yes,
a
sir.
lot. Y'all coming to KC for the draft? We're not. We were going to, but we decided we're
We
just going to
thought
stay
about it.
home, watch it with our pops first round. I think we're going to just live stream the day 2 and day 3. Just talk with you guys a little bit. Somebody threw it out that we should have went and live streamed from the World War II memorial. That would have been funny and awesome.
That would have been cool.
In the background. That would have been cool. But yeah, maybe we'll do it next year or
Look,
something.
we have, with our luck though, if we got out there and we wanted to go live straight from the draft, it'd probably just be a ridiculous thunderstorm, hurricane or something.
I said maybe we'll do it next year, like the draft's coming back to KC. Well, wherever the draft is next year, I'm going to track it down.
No telling.
We always wanted to go to a live draft. Like, we always wanted to do that, but it was always in New York. This would have been the shot to go there, but yeah, just it didn't work out for us.
See, Gary, St. Joseph, Missouri, guys, home of the KC Chiefs training camp. If you guys come up this year, I'll take to Adams Bar and Grill, great sports bar. Hey, man, we might hit you up on that. We usually try to make it to camp at least, for a day or two and check it out. So if we get up to St. Joe's this year, we'll hit you up, Gary. That'd be fun.
Yep. John also says Josh Downs, Zay Flowers are very similar. They are. They're pretty similar. They do a lot of the same things. And is there a big drop-off? I don't think it's as big as people think. So
No.
Josh Downs,
Man,
a lot of success,
Josh Downs,
man.
he has really sure hands, dude. If you go back and look at the drop rates out of all these prospects, because I was kind of wondering what Quentin Johnston's was yesterday. I think he had an 8.5% drop rate, which was not very good. Like, it's not terrible, but it's not very good. And I think Josh Downs was like 2%. He was like leading the pack. So
Josh
that
Downs
dude,
only dropped, I want to say 3 balls his entire senior
he
season.
will
and they were
catch
bad
the ball
throws.
if thrown his way. So that's cool. What's going on, Jack? It says you guys do Saturdays and possibly Sundays. This site will blow up because your weekend sucks so bad. Everybody else takes off. You guys work and then take off Monday, Tuesday. You're going to be paying me. Yeah, man.
I think I may try that. I don't like to work on Mondays and Tuesdays, Steve.
Yeah, we work every day pretty much, dude. It's like
We
always
do.
something. But yeah, we're gonna try to do the live streams on Saturdays for sure. It could be a little tricky for me. Just a little inside info. I have a lot of children. Okay. Every other
46.
Saturday, every other Saturday, I'm gonna have a clan of 7 kids. So it could be a little tricky for me, but I'm gonna make it work for you guys. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. If they come down and yell and be crazy. It's all right. I don't think you guys will care too much.
We may let a few of them on the live stream. Mia's a character, so she might love it. She might do it, man. There ain't no telling what she's gonna say, but she might get us kicked off.
She's
YouTube.
a wild card there, man. That's for sure.
John says Grant Dubose would be a great selection late. Dude, I've watched a little bit of film on Grant Dubose. I was trying to bring up his stats to talk about him just a little bit because I've seen so many people. But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he's a kid from Charlotte. Off the top of my head, I could be wrong, but I do believe that he's got some pretty good film. I think what his knock was is that when he went to the combine, he didn't run very fast. I think it was like a 4.7 or something. I could be wrong, but yeah, I will definitely go back and look at some stuff on him. It would be sweet. Underrated Adam Botkin, looking him up. Will, thanks for being here. And I will look up Adam Botkin. What positions?
Yeah, I'm going to make note of both of those guys. I don't know much about Grant DuBose or this Adam Botkin, so I'm going to make a note. I actually just did. I'm going to check them out and see how they are.
Will's AKA Mentally Will. I remember you from the other night, bro. Good to see you back.
Yep.
Good to see you back. John says, I'd love to see us move up a few and snag Cansey next to Jones. Good night. Dude, that's true. That would be sweet.
That would be nice, dude.
I'm actually reading that Detroit in the mid-teens is possibly looking to get Kalijah Cansey. I don't know if Cansey will be here. Then again, his size, man, he could slide down the boards. Syracuse Chris says, Ravens have 22nd pick and just signed Odell. Might be a trade up there as well. It could, but I tell you what, Odell's not a long-term solution. And they want to get, if they want to get Lamar Jackson back, they got to keep going. And I'm going to give you a little bit more insight. There was a specific team connected to the hip of Zay Flowers the entire the game, the All-Star game. It's slipping my mind right now.
What are you talking about? The Senior Bowl or something?
Yeah, the Senior Bowl. There's a team. It was the Ravens. The Ravens would not get off of Zay Flowers. Like, they followed him around like a shadow. So they could sit there and take.
Am I wrong though? Have they not missed on receiver quite a bit lately? Like, I feel like they've drafted. Are they the ones that took Rashad Bateman? And I mean, he's not terrible, but he's not what they thought he was going to be for sure. Yeah, John says, I'm in KC, but in '65 I lived in Valley Station, Kentucky for a year. So that's right in Mike's, right by Mike.
Yeah, you're right in my neighborhood there, man.
Right in his backyard there, man.
Yeah, I'm down the road a little bit. I'm a little bit further south. But yeah, Valley Station, man. I'm up there almost every day. It's still the south side of Louisville. It's still pretty crappy, and there's still nothing but fast food restaurants everywhere. But we make it work. Trav says, born in Louisville, living in North Carolina. That's cool, Trav. What side of Louisville were you born on? Do you know? It might have just been downtown. Might have been, who knows? Louisville's so big.
Might have been a baby. He don't even know.
Louisville is a strange city. If you come to Louisville, Kentucky, you will go downtown and you will just walk around. And it looks like a post-apocalyptic world. There's nobody down there. Almost half the buildings are falling apart because nobody uses them. And then if you just move out a little bit to the little side streets, like the Preston Highways and the Bardstown Roads, that's where everything is. And the downtown area is just kind of bland, man. Fun story. I went last night and I watched, are you guys familiar with Bobby Lee, the comedian? I actually watched him last night. He was in Louisville. Bobby Lee doing stand-up. Dude, he's the man. He actually was talking about that. He was like, dude, what's up with y'all city here? It's like a ghost town. He was like, it's crazy. I want to show you guys this. Dude, Bobby Lee. Got a signed poster from Bobby Lee.
Bad Friend Store. That's pretty sweet. Out.
It's so sick, dude. Bad's Friend Tour. That's a funny podcast, man. You guys got to go check that out. It's hilarious.
Yeah, that's a good one. I really do like him. If you like Theo Vaughn, he's always with him. Jack with the 2-bomb, man. We appreciate that, Jack. Thanks, dude. He also says, Wichita, Kansas, you guys are cool. Just get tired of the other shows. I mean, 2 bearded guys from Kentucky. LOL, cool. Yeah, man. Like I said, it's a crowded space, but there's a lot of good Chiefs content out there. And a lot of good content, too. I mean, RGR, KCSN. I mean, there's a lot to choose from. So if you get tired of one, you can come to the next, man. It's just how it is. A little variety.
Email your email. I loved it. Dude, it's been a long day. It's been a long day.
You called Chris Jones Chris Johnson, and then you said email me your email.
Dude, it's a long day, guys. It's Thursday. It's almost the end of the week. I'm not feeling it.
Overland Park, but I grew up in Minneapolis and have been a Chiefs fan forever. What's going on, Jan? Jan's awesome. She's been around for a long time. Super supportive of us, and we appreciate her so much. But Overland Park, good area. I always enjoyed my time in Overland Park for sure.
Where did you live in Minneapolis? Have you ever been to Paisley Park? Where Prince, I want to get up there and go see Paisley Park where Prince, I think they've got like a Prince like museum there now, right? Like I want to go up there, man.
We've been in Minneapolis. Actually, we used to play music. We played in a punk rock band, and we were touring one time, and we had a show at, I think it was called like the Triple Rock Social Club or something in Minneapolis. And the same night Prince was playing. and it was just a bad timing. Remember, I think he was over on, I can't remember the name of that venue, but Prince was taking all music fans of all genres. It was a crazy time.
Dude, our van broke down that trip, and we had to live in a broken down van
We
for
were
3
stuck
days
in Wisconsin. Yikes.
Dude,
What a
Wisconsin.
nightmare.
If anybody from here is from Wisconsin, I apologize. But dude, we were in a spot that was so bad. Like, there was honestly a dude who owned a motel, and he was trying to help us fix our van. Remember, Steven?
Man.
He had like a giant beer belly, and he was trying to get under the van, but he didn't jack it up high enough, and then he almost
Dude, I
squished
thought he was going to
himself
die. I thought he was going to die. It was terrible.
Dude, it was
And then
so
his
huge.
daughter was carrying a baby doll around, like acting like it was a real baby. It was a scary thing. It was
It
very
was a straight
scary.
horror movie, man. It was a straight horror.
It was-
We had to get out of there. Like,
It was a nightmare. It was like it kind of reminded me of like a Rob Zombie film. Like if you've ever watched like House of a Thousand Corpses or Devil's Rejects, we saw that in real life, and it was in Wisconsin. Sorry.
yeah. Jack says, you guys redoing a little rundown of the Kentucky Derby. I mean, what's up? Should we
I haven't
live
looked
stream
at
the
it.
Kentucky Derby?
Dude, why not? I've what's funny, last year, I'm so mad about this. Like, it was cool, but at the same time, was it last year when the crazy odd horse won? I can't
Yeah,
remember the
it was
name
last
of it.
year. The
Okay,
the
yeah.
long
So
shot.
I was just I hadn't like bet at all, and I was like, I'm just gonna throw some money on this long shot here, and I tried to put $100 or something like that on them, but for some reason the betting place I was using wasn't working quite right, and I ended up just being able to get like 10 or 20. I don't remember. I got a huge kickback off of that because he actually won, and I was like, man, if it would just let me put all my money on there, it'd been a nice little payday. But
Hey,
normally I don't
better
get
than
the
my
I don't.
story.
I normally don't predict those things. Like I'm not good at the horse racing thing, because I always tend to look at the horses. I'm like, dude, that gray one is beautiful. I'm gonna bet on the gray one, and then they never win.
Right. Yeah, it was better than my story though. I actually done the thing Steve was going to do. I was just going to bet on all the underdog horses. So I went down, put $5 on every one of them, and apparently there was one horse I missed. It was the guy that actually won. He was on the next page over, and I didn't even see it. So yeah, I really screwed that one up. Go figure.
It
I
happens.
tried to see who was in the
It happens.
Derby this year, man. I don't think they've got the field set just yet. I was trying to bring up these horses. I'll do a little horse talking with you. Anyway, dude, where is Jason? This dude done forgot he was supposed to be on here today, apparently.
Possibility. That's okay.
Hey, man, he's busy. I think he actually coaches still, doesn't he?
I'm not for sure. I was gonna ask him. I don't really know what all he does. I know he does chief concerns, but other than that, I'm not real for sure.
Yeah, he'll be
Let's
on here any
see.
minute, though. We're just going to hold it down until he gets here.
Right. John says Dubose is a lot like Pickens. Okay, cool. Yeah, I got to check that out, because I was a big advocate for George Pickens last year. I'm not mad at getting Sky Moore, but I really wanted us to get George Pickens. But I had a feeling that we wouldn't pull the trigger on it. It just didn't seem like the Brett Veach, Andy Reid type receiver. And sure enough, they went with Sky Moore. So, yeah, I'll definitely check that tape out.
Faux show.
Botkin, hold on, Mike.
Did I just screw
He also said
something up?
Botkin is a kicker, right? Will says kicker and basically freak athlete. Yeah, okay, so I got to look him up too as well. So he's a
He's a
So he's a
kicker?
kicker?
And a freak athlete. Okay.
Dude, have we heard anything about Tommy Townsend? Like, I was kind of wondering about that. Remember we low tenured him, and I haven't heard
Yeah.
a word since.
Well, yeah. I don't know how many people are actually interested in punters. We were actually looking at a punter. We had hosted a punter, or we interviewed one out of Rutgers, I believe, wasn't it? I don't remember his name, but
I don't
Veach was
know.
looking at punters, and then we load tenured Townsend,
Well,
and
I
I
think you
remember
have to
everybody
have,
freaking out over.
You have to have a
over
plan B.
Townsend.
If somebody were to sign Townsend and we can't match, then he's gone. So they have to have a plan B.
Yeah. Richie says Brett will draft 5 players, use the other 5 for draft capital. Hey, man, that's probably close. I mean, at the most, he probably drafts, 7 or 8? I don't think he drafts all of them.
No, like I said, he can't do it.
Beach 303, what's up, man? I was so happy we didn't get Odell. Yeah, I mean, for the price.
Right.
think
I
that
mean,
was
if you
good
could
at
have got
all.
him for like a decent price or something, it would have been a whole different ball game. But 18 million is absurd, dude.
Yep. 6'3", 210, small, very good route runner, wicked blocker. We'll have to look into him for sure, man. I'm going to look into him. I'll do some film on him. I've looked at so many players. I think I'm up to like 270. I'm tired. Like we're like less than a week away, and at this point, I'm like, man, I'm tired. I don't know who does this for a living, but
I think we're behind on the
respect.
chat quite a bit, Mike. We're being slow.
We are. We'll
We
go
gotta
through
pick
it.
it up.
Receivers
No,
don't like to play for Baltimore, according to ESPN News. You
Why
know,
would they?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think they put all their stock into a quarterback that basically is a running back. Not saying Lamar can't throw, but he's not like the greatest throwing quarterback in the world. And they run that offense like a high school offense, like it's run first. So it's just,
Right.
I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to be there either if I was a receiver.
Yep. Gary says, don't believe Zay Flowers is going to be a top 10 receiver. Just my opinion. Just not my opinion.
In the draft? Like, you don't think he's going to be a top 10 in the draft? Or, like, what do you mean?
In this, I don't know. In this draft, maybe? Angry Drunken German. What's up, buddy? Is your wife out of the hospital? I hope. I hope that has happened. Hello again. I don't see Flowers producing much year one. It's possible.
Well,
I say.
here's the thing.
Andy, yeah. Go ahead.
With Andy Reid, no rookie receiver is going to produce that much in year one. It's just not going to happen. Look at what happened to Sky Moore last year. Sky Moore is completely capable of coming in and having a much bigger role than he did, but he just didn't do it. Andy don't like to play those wide receivers their rookie year. He likes to let them hang back and learn. So, I mean, it is what it is. I think if they draft one, that's how it's going to be. Cole, good grief, man.
Is this the real Cole?
I hope it is.
This is the real Cole. He's a member.
So here's the thing, Cole. Why are you looking at that anyway? I'm not going. If you'll go look and judge for us, then we'll bet on that horse.
Hey, maybe you know something we don't know, and there's a horse actually called the biggest penis.
Possibly. Maybe that's what it is.
Or maybe no, it has to be called with the. What if that's the horse's name? It's just with. Okay, I see you.
That's great. Let's see here. Baltimore's insane for paying OBJ. That absolutely 100%. Why in the world would you pay OBJ $18 million for 1 year? Insane, because he might not even play. We all know how it is. Jack says it's okay. We love kids. That's how far behind we are. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If the kids come bomb my live stream on Saturdays, I'm sorry, but hopefully it'll be all right. And he gave us another 2 bomb, man. We appreciate that. Absolutely. Let's see. James. He says Springdale, Arkansas. So do we have Arkansas on the map, Mike?
We did. We got Arkansas on there, man.
Trav, with Jefferson Memorial, last I've seen, it was Norton's. Lived in the Highlands, St. Matthews family. Okay, so St. Matthews, that's a good area in Louisville.
Dude, we're so far behind on this chat.
It's okay. It's okay.
We already hit that one. See, you're not even caught up.
No, I am. Prince was the man. Prince was the man. And like I said, I mean, like, how did we get so unlucky that our show date in Minneapolis happened to fall on the same day as a Prince show in his hometown? That's just old Williams luck showing up right there, son. That's what that is. I'll let you take over this chat, Mike. That way I'm not double clicking your stuff.
Yeah, I think you're just way far up there.
Maybe.
Live stream the Derby. Show these people in the field. Talk. Dude, I tell you, that'd be hilarious. Matty Ice thanks Chris Wright for the membership. Chris, again, throwing out memberships. It's awesome, dude.
Chris is the man.
Chris is the man. He's been helping us grow, and that's cool. It takes a village to grow, for real.
For sure.
Yo, Real, what's up, buddy? He says, what about Tyler Scott in the 3rd round? I like Tyler Scott. The only knock on Tyler Scott I got is his size, which we obviously are used to, so it's not that big of a deal. And he just ran a very limited route tree there in Cincinnati. And because, I mean, this is what I do like about him. Fun fact. And again, I've looked at like 275 players, so this might be the wrong guy, but I'm almost positive. Tyler Scott used to be a running back, and he can squat 600 pounds. So only being like 170, 180 pounds, this kid can throw people around. You know, he can break blocks. So I like that a lot. Vendell says, y'all need to check out UT Martin wide receiver Colton Dow, number 15. He's 6'3", 215, 7th round pick or UDFA. I'll look into it. I've heard the name.
Right. I don't want to interrupt, but I just heard from Jason Dunn. Actually, just got a message from Jason. So he got caught up, and he said he'll be home about 10 minutes. He's going to jump on with us. So about 10 minutes or so, we'll have Jason Dunn on.
Good deal. T-Bone says the Judson Watson deal and Gabbert signing go great together and make sense. Yeah. We like the 2-year deal with Watson, and then Gabbert, Gabbert is probably better at this point than Shane Buechele. Let's be honest. You'd probably trust him more. Cole says, I have the check mark. It's me. Ha ha ha.
We didn't look at the check mark. You and your fancy check mark.
Dude, Twitter stopped the check marks today, didn't they? I seen Chris Jones be like, where's my check mark?
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
But I don't even, who cares? Like, I think it's weird that people focus so much on the check mark on Twitter. Like, it's like both sides of it I don't understand. Like, the people that really just want one really bad, I don't understand you that much. And then the people that are so mad that other people that are not as cool as them are going to have a check mark.
Steve bought a check mark.
All of it drives me crazy. Well, yeah, I did Twitter Blue because, dude, if you don't pay attention, we still have typos, even with Twitter Blue.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean.
It happens.
Yeah, maybe we did waste our money. I don't know.
I think we did. It's a feature that's actually Twitter Blue's not even that cool. They said you got a lot of cool stuff. I don't see it. I don't like it. Jack Green says the horse that poops wins. You know, Jack, you're probably
lightest
right, buddy.
horse. He's the lightest
Brenda's
one.
here. Brenda's here. She says Tommy Townsend signed for $2.6 million. Brenda, good to see you.
Yeah, what's up, Brenda?
Yeah, I don't remember what. That's awesome if he actually signed. I don't remember seeing nothing about it. I'm crazy, though. Syracuse Chris, not sure if you guys already talked about this. Iowa State edge rusher Will McDonald. What do you think? We haven't talked about Will McDonald today. We've talked about him.
Right.
I'm on the fence. I think Will McDonald in the first round is reaching a little bit. I think Will McDonald is somewhere between a 40 to 50 rated prospect. They play a really stupid defense with Iowa State. I'm sorry, but it's stupid. It's a 3-3-5 or something like that. It's really dumb. He's never in a 5 or 7 or 9 technique off the edge. But when he did line up like that, he had a pretty good win rate. He just seems to be a little small. But again, his win rate was good when he was out there. So can he do it for a full season? It remains to be seen. I don't dislike Will McDonald at all. I just think that at pick 31, it's a little rich. If we could get him in the second round.
He got a high ceiling. He does have a high ceiling. He had a really good win rate in college. So, I mean, I think there's a lot of potential there. But I'm with you, Mike. I'm not sold on him being a first-round pick either.
What is Angry Drunken German? My Tony mug was a hit at work today. That smile makes him look like Jack Nicholson from The Shining.
That's great. Do you have what Tony mug do you have? Is it Cole's?
Is it? Yeah, it might be the Cole. I was going to say, we don't have a Tony mug. That's great. We do have the mug, but I don't
even know if Cole does.
Funny,
I know he has the shirt, though, so that's what I was. Maybe he made a tumbler or something, too. I don't know.
Maybe he did. If so, everybody go get one, because that sounds funny. I need something like that, too, because I'm drinking out of a mug that's like, somebody put like sparkly things on it. What the heck? It's not a mug. It was
pretty there, Michael.
Just shut up. Okay. Let's get back. Mark Murray says, I would love if the Chiefs drafted Vaughn from K-State in the late rounds, maybe a 5th round. Yeah. We'd like Deuce Vaughn.
Right. I don't want to reach on him. Obviously, I don't think he's like a game changer or anything. But, I mean, if they're not going to have McKinnon back and stuff like that, I wouldn't be opposed to getting somebody like a Deuce Vaughn. He's a good receiving back.
Okay. Syracuse Chris says, don't mean in first round, just in general. Yeah, so in general, we like Will McDonald. I don't know if he's a perfect Spags fit, but other than that, yeah, like we do like him. Cole says, I used to disregard peasants with no check mark. Then people could buy their own.
Yeah. Cole, quit trying to be an elitist.
Cole
this guy's out
like
here with his own brand
mark
of coffee and his check marks. Just so much better than the rest of us.
Cole, when do you go live again? We were gonna. You remember, like on Twitch, you could do raids. You remember, you get off and you're like, hey, we're gonna raid.
Just dump everybody off. I don't know how that works.
Dump everybody in. I wanted to do that here on YouTube because like sometimes we go live right before Cole, so we just want to dump people over into
Was it Tuesday we were talking about that? It's like we can just dump them all over.
Yeah, but
it'll make it easy. They're going there anyway, so.
Yeah, it don't give them the option, but either way, we try to help whoever.
And of course, we need to get you on here anyway. We'll just do one together some night.
Yeah, I don't know how that works either. We'll have to try to figure that out. It would be fun. We should do one. I don't know. Cole, let us know. Would you rather do it before the draft, after the draft? I don't know what you want to talk about. We don't even have to talk about football. We can talk about, I don't know, life, I guess.
Let's see. Vendale says Wisconsin Twilight Zone. LOL. I hope it wasn't in Janesville. It was not Janesville. I can't remember it right now because we dubbed it the Devil's Asshole, Wisconsin. We didn't go by the real town name because it was so freaking scary.
It was somewhere near Eclair, however you pronounce that.
Nah, I don't even know, dude.
It was below that.
Well, here's the crazier part. Wasn't there some kind of NASCAR race going on or something, and we couldn't get a hotel room? Like, so we
Yeah.
literally had to sleep in the broken down van, like in this crazy town with all this Rob Zombie film stuff going on. What a time. What a time.
Yeah, it was weird, dude. I'm gonna find it. He says Cole's Tony mug, not Cole's mug though. Gingers aren't that scary. Cole's Tony mug. I'm gonna
Man,
go check that out. I want to see it.
I think Cole's just as scary as Kadarius Toney. I think they have an equal scare factor.
An equal scare factor.
I mean, Kadarius Toney's not in here talking about horse penises. Let's just put it that way.
Cole, are you drunk today?
I think so. He had too many of those. What's the beer that he's always promoting now? I don't even know. Something 7.
Yeah.
Him and his craft beer and his check marks.
Steve, it was called Toma, Wisconsin.
Oh, that was it. It was
That
terrifying.
was it. It was called the Red Gables Motel. My Lord, it was creepy.
Red Gables. Yeah, and the guy had a speech impediment. Red Gables. Red Gables.
Yeah,
Dude, it was bad.
I think it's got bought, which thank the Lord somebody bought
Hopefully.
that thing, but who would want it?
All right.
It looks a lot different than it did back in the day.
It was terrifying. That's all I know. Was not a good time. Was not a good time. Let's
No.
see. Let's see. John says Deuce Vaughn would be a great punt returner, kick returner. Yeah, for sure. That's something that we still need help with because, yeah, Kadarius Toney can do it. Justin Watson can also return punts. But I don't really care that much about having Kadarius Toney. He's already an injury-prone type guy, so I don't. If we can keep him from returning punts, I'm okay with that as well.
Hey, did you find interesting today during the Brett Veach presser that he said that we actually tried to trade for Richie James a few years ago when he left the 49ers? So they've been eyeing Richie James down for a little while, man. They said they
maybe
liked
there's
him out of
something there
college.
Something there they see, man. Don't know.
Punt return, kick return.
Richie James is one of those guys that I never really paid. Like, it's like he's not bad, but I just never really paid that much attention to him until you find out the Chiefs signed him. It's like, oh, okay. I'm cool with it, though. Like, he's pretty good. Post-draft live stream with Cole? I'm down. I think that'd be fun. That'd be good anyway. Just kind of talk about what happened and what our thoughts are and everything. That would be great.
For sure. Chris Wright said it was Tank 7 beer. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Cole says the only way to raid is to spam paste the link in the comments. Well, I tell you what, Cole, when you start getting ready to go live, just start spamming your link in the comments. I'll allow it.
All 20 people that are still with us at that time will go to yours. No.
Yeah, we're
Let's
usually
see.
live streaming so long that everybody just gets tired.
What's this question here? Wagoba. I hope I'm saying that correctly.
Who is this year's Jason
What's
Dunn?
going on? Who's this year's Jason? That's a good question. Well, last year's
Really
Jason
good
Dunn, or
question.
whatever year's Jason Dunn. He's still trying to make it home, I suppose. So I don't know,
Who
man.
is this year's Jason Dunn?
Tight ends. A really good blocking tight end.
I'm just going to
who
say
would that- who
DeAndre
would-
Washington.
Yeah,
Is that
let's
his
do it.
name?
Let's go with them. Are you talking about the dude from
The kid from Georgia.
Is it
Just
Darnell?
because of
No.
fierce side.
I'm getting them all
Darnell.
mixed up.
It's Darnell
I'm getting them
Washington.
all
I said
mixed up,
DeAndre.
dude.
You've got me going crazy today. It's Darnell Washington. You're right. I think Jason has appeared. If his camera can come on, I think Jason's finally here. So you guys held out long enough that Jason makes an appearance.
See what else we got in this chat here. Trav says, if Dunn played with Castle, will you ask him what his problem was? Dark times, dark times. I don't remember. Did Dunn play with Castle? I think.
Probably.
I don't know.
He may.
I don't
he
know if
may
he did or
have.
not.
I would think. I wonder if he played with Trent Green. I don't know. It's tough to remember when all these years happened. Good Lord, this has been like 20 years ago. It seems.
Oh, he'll know. We'll just ask him.
You don't know.
He'll definitely remember.
Yep. It was Darnell Washington. Yeah, I don't know why I said. Who did I say? DeAndre? What the hell am I talking about?
Yeah, you were thinking about Hopkins. No.
Dude, I've had a long. It's been a long day, guys. I'm telling you.
Mike's not very good with names today. What are you
Trying to
looking
get
for
Jason
over there,
coming
Mike?
in.
You look
We're
like you're
trying to get Jason
really.
coming in.
You're looking really intensely into something.
I'm just trying to see where we
Let's
left off
see.
on the chat. That's where I'm going
Right.
with it.
Cole says, what do you think about the Zay Flowers rumors? He was catching passes with Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, we addressed this a little bit earlier, Cole. I wouldn't look too much into it. I don't know. Like, we thought that was requested by the Chiefs, and then Brett Veach kind of made it sound like he just kind of showed up there. So we're not really sure what's going on there. If the Chiefs did, in fact, invite him to go out there, and then Quentin Johnson was there the day before, it's a ton of different things. Either they could seriously be looking into these two guys, or they could just be wanting everybody to think they want a wide receiver in the first round, when really they want an offensive tackle or something else. So not really sure. Zay Flowers on the Chiefs, though, wouldn't be opposed to it. Dude's a baller, and I think he would fit right in. So I wouldn't be mad at it. Did you get caught up finally, Mike? Do you know where we're at?
Yeah, I think I'm in. I'm just waiting for Jason. His camera's not showing up. Should we bring him in? Like, I don't know if he knows his camera's not working. I don't know if there's a camera problem.
Send him a message and see what's going on there. Let's see.
I will. I don't know if he'll see it.
Draft from Alabama and Tennessee. Man, so Brett Veach likes to draft from the SEC. He's shown that in the past, and it's not a.
Oh, here he comes. Okay, so we got it.
Not out of the question. I think he likes SEC guys for sure. The Night Haunter. I've been a fan since 1970. Dark Times was pretty much the late 70s, 80s, and most of the 90s. There were a lot of dark times, man, and it's such a good time to be a Chiefs fan now. Some people don't realize that as much as others, but
Steve, you ready to bring in Jason? Jason's ready, man.
Yeah.
Let's bring him in.
Hop on in. What's going on, my man?
What's up,
How you
man?
doing?
What's up? What's going on, man? Technical difficulties. I don't know why my camera wasn't working. I was sitting over, I could hear you all. And I was like, can y'all hear me? Y'all didn't answer. So I'm just like, I don't know what it is. So
hey, you got it. It's all that matters.
Yeah. It just kept showing you blank, and I was like, we want to see this face, baby.
you know what it is? Y'all do the StreamYard, man, and I'm a Mac guy. So I got to do the whole Chrome and all of that, just kind of cross over.
Yep, that's what I'm doing too, man, through Chrome and all that.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy. But, dude, good to have you here, man. We know you're a busy guy. We were talking before you got on. We were like, do you still coach and stuff? Or is
I still coach. So I coach kind of on my own terms. Pretty much I'm doing a lot of mentoring, consulting with teams and whatnot. And I just went out to LA and I coached in the NFL PA Bowl with the Collegiate Bowl. It's all the guys that's coming into the draft right now. And so had a number of guys, talented guys that we're going to see, that I'm going to see going probably the first, second, third round. Some heavy hitters, and so it was a good look of seeing just the talent that you'll see in the draft coming this year. Maybe some guys in Kansas City. We'll see a couple of guys, hopefully, that either I coached or I seen out there on the field. But there's a lot of talent out there, man. There's a lot of talent. And I answered, no, I did not play with Matt Castle. I heard y'all talk about I did not play with Matt Castle.
I didn't think you did. I didn't
think
you did.
No. I think at the time, Matt might have been my foe. Now, I played against Tom for a number of years, but I had Trent Green. Trent was my quarterback. When I first got to Kansas City, Elvis Garback. You remember Elvis Garback?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, Elvis. And then I had Brody Croyle. I had Damian Heward. I had.
Wait, stop right there. You had the great Brody Croyle, baby.
Yes, sir.
Great Brody Croyle.
Was
Brody a cool guy?
He was carousel back then.
Dude, Brody was from Notre Dame, right? Like, I remember when he come out, everybody thought he was going to be the man. He did play at Alabama. He did.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Man, Brody, man, was like one of the coolest cats ever. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So
he
was a cool dude.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. What was you going to say?
I had a question for you, actually. So you were drafted by the Eagles, correct?
Correct. That's right. I was.
Right. Do you have any feelings about the Super Bowl this last year? Was it a little mixed feelings, or are you just straight Chiefs now?
No, I mean, mixed feelings. Like I said, that was my first family, and so they drafted me. And I always have love for Philadelphia. That's my two teams: it's Chiefs, and then Philly. Kind of in that water, man. It's like your family. If you get divorced from them, you still love the people that's around them. You don't really hate on them.
I hear you. That's a good comparison.
Yeah. So no, man, it was kind of strange because we had people here. I had a TV crew that came in, and it was like it was it was a family divided because my brother had on like my old Eagles jersey, 87 Dunn, and of course I had mine on. My grandson, so it was a good time. It was a really good time.
Yeah, that's cool, dude.
Yeah.
So, you
Dude,
ready
I'm
for
gonna
this
tell
draft,
you-
man? Like, we're a week away from the draft. I didn't mean to cut you off, Mike, but
No.
we are 1 week outside. It seems crazy, doesn't it? Like, it kind of flew up on us this year.
It absolutely did. And you think, month away, month and a half, you're like, oh man, it's forever, right? And then you just keep forgetting that it's at the end of April, right? You always think you're almost getting into May. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm going to be going out there for the draft, getting into some things and actually, meeting some people, talking to some podcasters, guys, that follow us. And hopefully get on a couple of shows out there too. Maybe break some bread with some people that I haven't really seen in person. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like in this, technology, you're able to bring us together. But hopefully now I'll be able to see people face to face, and like I said, man, just kind of enjoy myself when I get out there. So it's gonna be a big event, man. It's gonna be a big event. Let me ask y'all girls, what direction do y'all think we're going in the first round? What do you think?
Man, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? It's so hard to it's so hard to know what Brett Veach is going to do. And my personal opinion is I don't think that he has a target per se. Like I don't think he has to take an offensive tackle or he has to have a wide receiver. I think Brett Veach is more of the let's see who's on the board, and if it's one of our guys and we're in striking range, let's go get him. Just like last year with Trent McDuffie, I never thought they were going to trade up and take a cornerback. But when they saw a player of that value sitting there, why not? So I think it's going to be kind of the same thing.
You know what though? It kind of seems like that, but I think they really actually have kind of a game plan. And I think maybe it kind of changes a little bit, but I think they still kind of hold kind of tight to what they're thinking, the vein of it. Because I don't always think best guy available is always the way to go. And I think Trent at the time, they knew they kind of was able to get Trent right, and they just jumped on it. It was just like, man, he just fell in their lap. And so I think that's kind of how it really worked. We needed a corner. We needed a guy, right? And so they do, Fenton wasn't going to be here. And then, of course, we was looking for a secondary, like, okay, we getting guys in, but we need a guy that's going to be here for the future, right? And so they absolutely benefited from getting McDuffie. I pushed Karlaftis. I knew he was probably going to be defensive. I knew, we was going to get him. And I was pushing. A lot of people didn't like it. I said, man, this dude he's an animal. He's a guy that's got a high motor. We need a guy like that. And so I think this draft, to me, with this whole Zay Flowers, because I kind of heard y'all talking about that too. Does that change things? What I believe it did was actually put in the conversation a question is, will they do that? Will they go up and try to get a Zay Flowers, right? And so do they feel like it is such an important piece of the puzzle they need to get on offense to make that move? Now, personally, I still think that our need is a tackle, right? I know we have, Juwan that got here and is still, he was a right tackle, did a tremendous job in Jacksonville, but I still think they're looking for a traditional guy to kind of get here, right? And so, there's a couple of guys on board that I think the Chiefs are thinking, well, look, if we go up and get Zay Flowers, there's still some tackles that could still fall on our lap, like almost like last year, like McDuffie did, on defense, a corner. And so, I've named a couple of them, obviously Anton from Oklahoma and Darnell Wright, from Tennessee. And so I think these might be guys that's like on that cusp that may be able to get to that second round, that second pick for us, that they may hold off on. Now, the good thing is that you have, kind of a deep class in, outside linebackers, defensive ends, defensive tackles that can kind of fit into the scheme that we run that Spags can definitely use. But I think that's definitely a need that we can necessarily go there. But I think that wide receiver, like once you get that offensive piece, I think wide receiver is the question, right? Tackle is kind of still the question. You get those two sold up on offense, go down the board defense and do what you need to do, right? And of course, if you end up finding you may be a tight end, right? Because everybody's, oh, what about Kelsey, stuff like that. Kelsey's going to be here for another 100 years. So we don't have to worry about that.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah. But if not, if something happens and you happen to find somebody that has a lot of ability later on down the road, then maybe you'd be able to, you could go ahead and pull a trigger on a guy like that. And there's some talented tight ends out here that has athletic ability, but I think obviously Jordy Fortson, re-signing him was another good move because he's already learned the offense. He knows what to do. So he's a wide receiver going converting to a tight end. That feels a lot of that whole, just in case Travis, over the years, you can still utilize him for that. So,
right, man. If Jody could stay on the field, I think he can contribute big time.
I think he will. Yeah, it's just one of those elbow injuries.
Bad luck.
Yeah.
He's had bad luck, man.
That's it, man. It's just football. You just never know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think if I'm trading up, if I'm Brett Veach, we have to look at a little bit of what people have said about the receivers this week. They're saying that a lot of talking heads are putting a lot of receivers in the first round, and NFL GMs just aren't viewing this class as last year's class. So it seems like Jackson Smith-Njigba is probably a lock to go top 20, and besides him, Zay Flowers, Quentin Johnston, but they didn't even invite Quentin Johnston to the top 17 in because they said they didn't want an Aaron Rodgers debacle. So my question is this. If Brett Veach, he said today he don't think he could see us going up that far. He said trading up wasn't a out of the question, but he didn't see us going up that far. So I'm kind of thinking on our draft board, is Zay Flowers that number 2 guy above Quentin Johnston, assuming Njigba's the top guy? Do they see that big of a gap that they're going to trade up that much just to take a Zay Flowers because they see that big of a drop-off with like a Josh Downs or something in the second round? And then my question would be, if you're coming up for 15 to 20, I'm looking more at that offensive tackle right there. I may even reach for an Anton Harrison that early if, there starts being a big tackle run. So I'm under the thing where I want to protect Mahomes first and foremost, and I think that we're good at finding enough weapons in the second round that the wide receiver for me is not the concern to get up in that first round. What do you think?
Look, I agree with 100% what you just said, and I'm pretty much in that same vein with you. Is it that stretch you're going to go get Zay Flowers? The thing is with Zay, because of the scheme that we run offensively, he fits really well in what we do. But we got guys like that here, okay? Mm-hmm. But we had them on short contracts. That's the thing about it. Do we retain, somebody like that's already here that we have in the room instead of a Zay Flowers and keeping him for the 4 years and then seeing what you can do after that? Is that a possibility? I don't know, but I'm agreeing with you that the most important thing is protecting PM15. That shoot. He's got weapons around him. That's the thing about it. And he's going to be able to get the ball to him. If you don't have him upright, it don't matter who you got out there running routes.
Yeah.
Right? So, it'd be a good thing.
So I'll put you on the spot here then. Let's say 25 comes around and the Giants are sitting there and their guy's not on the board and Brett Veach can go up at 25 and we have Quentin Johnston, Zay Flowers, and Darnell Wright sitting on the board. Which one of those 3 you think Brett Veach would pull the trigger on? That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
But I think Quentin Johnston's that X that our wide receiver needs. Like our wide receiver needs that X receiver. And is he more valuable at Zay Flowers at that point? Like, how does that work? I wonder. Like, what do you think?
I would think you have to evaluate. Okay, who do we have in the room? Okay, now we still got Justin Ross. Okay, still got a lot of question on him. Still some free agent guys that's out there, right?
Yep.
And it is it the protection or getting the ball to the guy that's going to make the difference? That's the main thing it comes to. To me, it's the protection. I think you could find a guy that like you said, from maybe 1 to 5 or 8 that falls into the second round that you might be able to get after that second pick. So I think are they home run hitters? That's the question. Are they home run hitters like you said last year that you were getting, right? And the Drake Londons and all those, are they going to be that? And so you don't quite know. That's the question you have to look at. But my thing is, I'm thinking about protection. You need to get you a tackle here that you don't have to keep playing, musical chairs with or musical tackles with all the time. Bringing guys in and we don't know what about him, or we need to make him a left tackle. Well, no, shoot. If you get a guy who's already a left tackle, you don't have to try to, mold a guy that hadn't been playing that position, to play left tackle. He's been playing left tackle unless Darnell Wright, who has left tackle background, he's played that before. Okay, he's got that ability to play that, right? Anton Harrison, right, left tackle. Do you take a guy like that? And so my thing would be, it's always that measure. But man, to me, like I said, man, I'll go back to what I said before. Now, how you said it was just protection. You go with Zay Flowers on that. I don't know.
I hear you. Which tackle do you like better? If you had your choice between Anton Harrison, who I believe is a left tackle, and he could probably compete day one, and I think you don't have to slide Jawan Taylor over. I think you can maybe play Harrison on the left, at least through camp, and see how it's going to work. I think he's going to be just fine. Darnell Wright, he's the other one you mentioned. He's got some left tackle experience. What I did notice when I went back and watched film, the year he played left tackle, he had a holding problem. And I wondered if that was a little bit because his footwork and his strength and stuff just wasn't there at left tackle, because when he moved to right this past season, he was dominant, and he's a dominant run blocker. So I'm kind of curious, where do you sit if that's the two tackles on the board? Where would you go? Would you go more with the left guy with Harrison and keep Jawan Taylor on the right, or would you just take the swing with the swing tackle there in Tennessee?
Well, okay. So I like both of them. I do.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so this is not against the other guy, but I will say this. I like Darnell Wright a little bit better than I like Anton, just for the simple fact. One of the cases I was trying to at least argue with Leonard Brown Jr. is because Patrick Mahomes retreats back a little bit further than everybody else in the NFL. And so when you're talking about speed rushers and guys like that, I think that Darnell Wright's footwork is a little bit better. I think he's a little bit better athlete to recover. And so, you would say left tackle, he had a holder problem. Well, it's 2 years removed. He's 2 years better. He's 2 years stronger. And so him making that adjustment, I think, would be a lot easier than Anton Harrison. I think like I said, Anton Harrison seems to me like he's very solid. He's very solid in his feet to a certain point. And so I think that point is what tips it a little bit more for Darnell, because Darnell can get a little bit further back. He can actually reset and come back inside, to redirect the guy if he needed to. I've seen a little bit of problems with Anton, doing that, redirecting a guy on the inside once he comes up the field and come back inside. A little tough one. But this is me evaluating not just as a player, but as a coach. I used to coach offensive linemen. So when I'm talking about feet, hands, strength, coming off the football, I give the nod to Darnell Wright. This more. That's just me personally.
Right. So there's a lot of people in the chat. They think you're all missing a big thing here. Defense. What about the edge rusher or the defensive tackle early? What if a Kalijah Cansey falls, or is there a defensive end that they think that the Chiefs would target in the first round that they might find more valuable than one of these tackles that may or may not pan out? What do you think about that?
From the defensive ends I've seen so far, and I'm going to do a more deep dive, kind of this week, coming up to next week, a little bit more on the evaluation of them. I haven't evaluated them that much, but I've been watching them. I think you have a lot of guys that got a lot of ability. I think you do. I think you can find a guy that you can get in the second round will be just as effective, especially with the scheme that we run in Kansas City. Spags likes those guys that may be a little bit undersized or can stand up, get after a guy. I mean, we've seen Frank Clark do it for a number of years. Carlos Dunlap, what he was able to do last year. And so these guys that you see coming into the draft this year, there's a ton of guys that can do that. I say ton of guys. I say at least the top 10 guys can at least do that, can get off the football and get around, be in and get low. And so I think that you could wait a little bit for a guy of that caliber, that skill set. So it still kind of goes back to the, do you get the best guy available at the time? I think you got to go for need. I think our most crying need that we have is protection. It is tackle. And so like I said, we're playing, we got, Lucas Niang here, and we got Kennard, which I like Kennard a lot. Niang's a question because of his injury, right? And then, of course, Jawan, thinking about moving him to the left. To me, man, it's just more glaring to me that it is just the tackle is the need for us more than anything else. So,
Right.
and I don't know if y'all guys have been following us, been watching us, but I've been one of those guys been talking and look, and we sent Chris Jones on an errand. Okay. All right. We sent Chris Jones on an errand to go and seal up a deal with D-Hop. I know everybody thinks we ain't get a D-Hop, we ain't gonna see it. But I think Chris is going down with the check and letting D-Hop know, like, listen, this is the type of money we got. This is what they want to give me. Are you ready to sign this deal for the Chiefs, man? We'll get this sold up, all of that. What you want to do? So,
Man,
the opinion, but man, I don't know.
no, I mean, I'm right there with you. I kind of thought that too. I was like, this is the man that has to restructure to make this deal even possible. Like, what's the chances that this is how it's going? So, yeah, I kind of got that vibe from it too, man. So you're not far off with that one, I don't think.
Veach actually said today in his presser that he's looking after the draft to restructure Chris Jones. He thinks it could happen. So maybe we get that draft day trade for DeAndre Hopkins, and here we
Make
go.
a splash. You never know.
Dude, it could happen. You want to take some
catch up,
questions from Chiefs Kingdom here?
Yeah, let's catch up on this chat a little bit. I want to check it out. So, let's see. That's not the one I wanted to click. All right, and Angry Drunken German said in the 90s we were only a QB away, and Carl just wouldn't do it. Jason, from what you can tell with Brett Veach, and then you were around with what, Carl Peterson and Scott Pioli both? Like,
yeah.
what's the main differences between those guys? Like, what makes Brett Veach more effective?
What makes him more effective?
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. That's the easy answer. That's the easy answer right there for sure. Yeah, man. This one's a lifetime talent getting somebody like that on your team. But what I like about Veach is, he's not scared to take chances. He's not scared to find, maybe those diamonds in the rough in later rounds. I think every GM does that. He's just hit. He's hit on his.
Right.
Well, I think everybody's kind of pulling the slot machine and seeing what you're gonna roll with. And if everything pans out, it pans out, right? And so, it's been several draft analysts and GMs that talked about several different guys, and they've been wrong. They've been absolutely wrong. Think about this. I mean, this Tom Brady, okay? Who thought about Tom Brady coming in, didn't have any ability, and all of a sudden here he goes, he wins 7 Super Bowls, and regarded as the greatest of all time, right? So, all the draft analysts and all these different guys, I mean, you're going to have all these different things. But Veach, I think what he does is he has a great scouting department behind him. He does a great job evaluating talent. He's been doing it for quite some time. Andy trusts him. And I think that's the key is, Andy has his back. And I think they really discuss exactly what it is that they want to do offensively and defensively, what they want the team to look like. And so if guys fit into the culture, they look like they're hard workers. It's not going to be so much of an ego problem. I think I kind of see his MO. But I think his connection, more so than anything else, is, he prides himself on getting the guys, right? 3rd, 4th round, and these guys are making it. And so it might be one of those guys that everybody's not thinking about, like, why you go after him? And then all of a sudden,
right,
he's a superstar, right? And so
for sure,
I think that's the difference between, I don't want to say, this, with Carl and those guys. I think,
right.
Back then it was a little bit more not as analytics pushing it. It was the old school guys getting in and, spitting tobacco out, seeing guys and measuring them when they get there to the college. And it's just a little bit more extensive of the things that they do right now as far as getting to guys. Technology has changed a lot of that too, right? So, back then you had to think, Carl, man, they getting tapes. I got tapes and CDs that he had to blow off to, put it in and see what the guy's all about, right? Because sometimes you get a guy drafted back then with Carl when he was doing it. Hey, the guy might say he's 6'5", you walk up on it, he's 6'2.5". You're like, wait a minute, hold on.
Right.
Where's the 6'5" defensive end I was looking for, right? Well, coach, that's him, right? So
totally different world, man.
Totally different world, man.
Dude,
totally
my favorite Carl Peterson draft story was when they took Greg Hill out of Texas A&M. And I thought that was hilarious, dude. I was watching some behind the scenes stuff they actually showed on ESPN, and Carl Peterson was a wild one. Let's be honest. John F. He said, "What's your evaluation of the tight end class? Who are your top 5 prospects in the tight end class?" And then to go with that one, Gary asked, "Which tight end do you think the Chiefs should draft out of this class if they pull the trigger on one?"
Mm. Oh man. Okay. So I had to go to my list, on tight ends first. Because that's a good one. But I know my man from Notre Dame obviously shows a lot of
Michael
ability.
Mayer. Michael
Yeah,
Mayer's good,
Yeah.
man.
yes, he is. He's a solid guy. They've been talking about uh, you know, oh my gosh, I don't know why I can't think of his name.
Kincaid?
Dalton Kincaid,
Dalton Kincaid.
Utah.
They're talking about Dalton Kincaid. I like Kincaid a lot. He's got a lot of athletic ability. He catches the ball well in traffic, goes up and go get it. Very athletic tight end. Very athletic tight end. Um,
Hmm.
the question is, will he fall to the Chiefs? Will you get a guy like that here? And then the other guy they've been talking about too, man, uh, Musgrave. Musgrave.
Yep.
They're
That's
talking
great.
about him. Running the 4.5 and all of that. I think part of the reason that teams may kind of fall off of him is because of his injury.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I think that's kind of a head scratcher. Because it's like, okay, this guy's been getting he's getting a lot of juice of late, but where has he been in college? Okay, what has he been able to do? And of course, his history. And sometimes, man, when you see guys having a kind of an injury-prone history, it's kind of a red flag. But I like him. I like Bill. Bill was my actually offensive coordinator was in Philadelphia, man. So cool cat.
Yeah,
But-
his uncle Bill, his dad actually played at Oregon, didn't he? A QB at Oregon, I believe.
Yeah,
And,
he did.
So you said his uncle Bill was a coach when you were in Philadelphia?
He was. So we
Okay.
had he ended up coming in with Dana Bible. So after John Gruden left from Philly, he went out there to Oakland, became the head coach. We brought in Dana Bible as an offensive coordinator. Well, Dana Bible didn't make it, I think, was like maybe 4 or 5 weeks until Bill Musgrave came in. He was a quarterback coach, and then they gave Bill Musgrave the keys to be the offensive coordinator. And I remember Bill coming to me saying, "Look, Jason," he said, "Man, look, I'm gonna use you like we used Shannon out there in Denver." And I tell you what, man, when I'm telling you, I enjoyed that little bit I had with him being OC. And man, that was probably one of my greatest years, man, because he was looking to try to get the ball to me, and I loved it. But he definitely Luke definitely has a lot of ability, no doubt about it. Darnell Washington, right? He was another guy he was talking about. He's got a lot of ability on him. When you're looking at tight ends now, the evaluation is a little bit different because everybody talks about how the position has transitioned. Okay. And I'm still one of those guys, being a guy that I like putting my hands on people. I like seeing tight ends that put their hands on people. Okay. I don't like tight ends shying away from, blocks or, you're just looking to line up, split out and catch footballs. Okay. That's what tight ends do, but we do a lot more than that. Okay. I need for you to go in, be a dog, put your hat in your hands on somebody and take them to the ground. Start knocking some snot out of some linebackers or some safeties, some defensive ends. Because that's part of it. It's part of the deal.
Right.
So I try to look for guys that has, well-rounded ability, that's going to be able to kind of, be seen in the draft. I'm going to give my shout out to some guys I had, if you don't mind, in the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl. Okay. And so I had Ben Sims, from Baylor. I had Jaleel Gillespie from Texas. I had let's see, Michael. What's Michael's last name? I can't think of it right now. From UCLA. Very, very. All these guys are like talented guys, and can play. And so I think the guys that I had, man, could easily, come on the team, man, and come play. I really do. So my thing is, you can find a good tight end in the draft, maybe in later rounds, that could come in and be a solid performer. But we got Noah Gray. Noah's done a tremendous job, and I don't know why it just seems like he just gets lost in kind of what we do. I think Noah's a guy that's been doing it all, man. He lines up in the backfield, motioning, he out there on the screens. I mean, so he's been learning, and he's an athletic guy. He's an athletic cat. And I liked him when he came out from Duke, and so I think tight ends, as far as where we are right now draft wise. And I told my co-host Marcus, I'm like, man, look, we good right now. We got the best in the league. We got 3 other guys that's just that are right there with him in the room. So they understand the assignment. They understand what they need to do. And so I like their ability. I like the tight ends we got in the room. I like them on the team, man. So
for sure. Yeah, we're Noah Gray guys for sure. I think he's been playing great. So everybody, I think they'll be surprised at what he'll be able to do when he gets more of a shot to do it. But we had a question from Night Haunter here. This is Jason. What's your favorite game you've ever played in and why?
Oh, man. Favorite game and why? Jeez. Well, it had to be, I'm not sure what year this was, all the runs together. But we were playing Oakland in Kansas City. And it was fourth quarter, fourth down. We had the scores. No, it was if, ands, buts, and maybes. We had to score. And so I think we were like on a 3-yard line or 4-yard line. And it was, I'm talking about balls to the wall. We got to get it done. Right there in the Arrowhead in the end zone. And we came off the ball, and I think either Larry jumped over the pile getting in or it was Priest. I'm not sure. Like I said, all this runs together, but that was like one of my favorite. I just remember the energy of that happening. And just like how electric the whole stadium was. That's another one I thought that might say Atlanta game. I enjoyed that too. The Atlanta game was something. It was fun. It was fun. The heads on them jokers. I'm telling you. I mean, we
rushing
put
touchdowns.
Yeah, 8 touchdowns. I told him,
insane,
I said, everybody score. During that time.
That's awesome.
That's amazing, dude.
You were just talking about Michael. Is it Michael Ezeki? Is that how you pronounce it?
Michael Ezeki, yeah.
Yeah, man. He's a little dark horse tight end for me out of UCLA.
Yes, sir.
Dude,
Yes, sir.
I tell you, I went back. Well, I'll let you answer a few more questions, but I went back to a Chiefs game because we're close to Cincinnati here. Like we're near Louisville, so Cincinnati was one of the only games we could get to. We didn't get out to Arrowhead until probably like 2000s. But in 2003, I want to say it was like November. It was cold. But you played a game in Cincinnati. You actually caught a touchdown that game, dude. So one of the first games I ever been to, you caught the touchdown. And yeah, man, it's just so cool to have you on today. It's awesome, man. I've been watching you since all the way back.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So y'all near Louisville?
Yeah.
Oh man, y'all right down the street from me there.
Where are you at?
Yeah, where do you live?
Oh, well, you were born in Kentucky, correct? Like Harrodsburg?
I was. Yeah, I live in Lexington. That's where I'm at right now.
Oh, nice. So
Dude,
I
go Lexington all the time.
I'm in the
man.
Elizabethtown Radcliffe area. I'm like, I could drive to your house in an hour. You know?
Yeah, probably less than that. Yeah.
You got meet us with sometime. We'll go eat some. I don't know. We'll go eat pizza or something.
Man,
I would say Kansas City barbecue, but you ain't gonna find none of that around here. That's for sure.
No. Well, I tell you what, we got some good barbecue, and I tell you, we'll have to hook up. Well, look, my family does barbecue, Dunn's barbecue, and I'm telling you, it is when I'm brisket, the chicken, the ribs. They got
a restaurant, or is it just at home?
Yeah, we got a restaurant in Harrisburg. That's where I'm from. I'm from Bergen, Harrisburg area. So
hey, if you invite us, I'm coming.
Right,
I'm coming eating it, man.
Straight up. From around this way.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I didn't know you lived in Lexington. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So we're not the only Kentucky guys doing Chiefs content. That's
no.
Yeah, people tell us we from Kentucky. We don't know what we're talking about because we ain't in Kansas City with them. I'm like, hey, man.
No, man.
I pay attention. I got the internet.
Right. Well, it's kind of the thing was, which was really crazy. When I was playing in Kansas City, you could hardly find anything out here as far as Kansas City wise in Kentucky. You just couldn't find it. And so, like going to like bars and stuff, my family be like, man, I had to go this place and that place to go and try to find a Chiefs game, when you were playing. And it was just like now, because the Chiefs are just doing so well. I mean, they everywhere, right? You can't go anywhere without seeing them. And believe me, I was up in Cincinnati and I had my Chiefs hat on, and the guy I went to the restaurant, dude was like, man, he used to play in the NFL. She was like, my wife was like, yeah, he played with the Chiefs. He's like, oh man, I was gonna go say hi to him until he told me he played for the Chiefs. So I go up there. Look, I go up there. I wear my stuff proudly, man. I do.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. We get tons of Bengals hate around here, man. You got a lot of bandwagon Bengals fans that just come over when Joe Burrow got drafted.
Yeah, that's what that is. That's exactly what it is. Some other guys I had too, man, on tight ends. Noah Grindor from North Dakota State.
I like him.
Steve likes him.
Yeah,
I do.
Cal Patterson from Air Force. I had Cal too. Was hurt at the time. Brady Russell. Brady Russell's more of like an H-back, man, but he's a guy that could do it all too from Colorado. I like Brady because he's a hard-nosed guy. Everybody talks about Sherman and those guys as being fullbacks. Brady could play that play, and he's a lot more athletic. I had some great guys, man, out there in the Collegiate Bowl. But yeah, man, that is something else. I'm so glad and happy to hear. I actually had some fans and some family down here.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, I'm glad to hear you guys make good barbecue. I'm about to drive over there this weekend.
Yes, sir. Come get it, man. Come
That's
get
awesome.
it. Yeah,
dude, you mentioned Colorado.
Yeah.
This is wet. This is so far off anything we usually talk about.
Okay.
You think Deion's going to turn it around in Colorado? Or you think it's a gimmick? I'm a firm believer in Deion.
Look, I believe he'll turn it around. No doubt about it. I mean, them jokers has been wrong, been bad for a couple of years. So ain't no way to go but up.
Right.
But I do think that I think he's going to turn it around, man. His whole motivational mindset and speaking and his thought process is going to build champions just in the guys, just in competing. And so that's what Colorado needed. They needed a guy like Deion, seriously. And I think he'll bring it up to power. Is he ready for, you want to say, one of the top 10 or 5 teams in the nation in 1 or 2 years? It's going to take some time. That's going to take a lot of time for that.
Hey, I'm about to call up Coach Prime's people and see if I can come get a tour of that stadium, man. It looks sweet in there. So if I get over there, you can road trip with me. We'll go over, we'll check out Coach Prime in his office. Brent says, Jason, who do you think is the biggest threat to the Chiefs in the AFC and NFC next season? Nobody.
Nah, I think it's still the same players in the game, right? Cincinnati and the Bills.
Right.
They're always going to be tough. They retain what they got. So that's what they've been trying to do. And they try to build onto the firepower that they have in the room right now, right on the team.
Right.
Obviously from the NFC, I still think, the Eagles are a formidable foe. Also too, San Francisco is another one. Okay. So I think, man, the teams that showed last year is still going to be dangerous teams next year. And I put Dallas in that mix too. Dallas is another team, man. Everybody keeps counting them out, but I think they're starting to see a little bit, right? I think they're trying to turn the corner with Dak being at the helm. It's always tough for them because they're always going to have that hate, man. They're always going to have that hate.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
So the usual suspects, pretty much.
Absolutely.
I think so too. I'm right there with you for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder. I'm going to preface this by saying this. Okay, so during the season, everybody, Chiefs Kingdom was down on our tackles, specifically OBJ, so much. I mean, I'm talking the hate was crazy. Me and Steve, we wasn't, we're not banging the drum for OBJ as the greatest left tackle in the world, but we kept telling people, come on, guys, Patrick Mahomes holds the ball a lot. We run an offense where he takes a deeper drop. He does all this stuff, and we were telling people, y'all got to give it time. These tackles will come around. We can win a Super Bowl. And then in the offseason, boy, it was OBJ hate, whatever. So he goes to Cincinnati. Cincinnati still needs another tackle, it looks like. How fun would it be on draft night if we jumped in front of them and took a Darnell Wright? But what was your thoughts on OBJ, though? Were you, on the hate train, or was it more like what we said? Pat, he's not an easy QB to block for, man. He takes a deeper drop. He holds the ball longer than anybody in the NFL. And it's come on, man. I don't know if Jawan Taylor's going to come over and be that great either. Trevor Lawrence gets rid of the football about a half a second to a second faster than Mahomes does.
Yeah. No, I was right with you all. I mean, I gave OBJ amount of grace that was deserving of him. And
Right.
I was saying all the things I was arguing the same point. First off, I was like, look, OBJ had to get, kind of transitioning from not being at camp, getting his body ready. Then he had kind of a setback because of the leg injury. And people didn't really want to bring that up and talk about the leg injury. You could tell this, the quickness wasn't quite there, the slowness of the feet. And so I knew it was like, okay, he's not at camp. Now he has his injuries to deal with. He's going to be struggling for these few games. And so, yeah, absolutely. Pat is not an easy guy, without a doubt, to block for. That's just reality. That is reality. And I feel just like you. Juwan Taylor's, if he goes to left tackle, he's going to have to deal with the same thing. He's going to have to still deal with, dropping back. But I don't think Juwan Taylor is going to go to left tackle. I think he's going to stay at right. I just, and getting a guy that is a little bit more athletic to retreat back, like a Darnell Wright. But yeah, man, I wasn't on the OBJ hate at all. Matter of fact, at the end of the season, I'm like, look, man, pay this guy. I don't know if he needs to be paid top 1 or 2 money. I wouldn't say that, but I think he still need to be considered being, for a long-term deal.
Yeah,
right?
Brent. Right. Hey, Brent says OBJ needed a lot of help this season. I think people take it out of context when these running backs chip. Running backs
do that in every
chip.
offense.
Yeah,
every offense.
People are so quick to use that as a hate point, but what do you think?
Listen, I did a video, okay, and I was going to share it on Twitter and just show that OBJ didn't get as much help as everybody thought he did, okay? Might have had presence, but he wasn't getting chips like everybody was saying. And I went through at least, I got to 6 games. I'm like, okay, that's enough of that. Shoot, because he wasn't really getting that help. I know they was probably saying it. There might be a time a guy was going and just kind of, chicken wing, Pacheco or McKinnon was just, sitting back there because that's in the scheme. That ain't no different from what you do. You know what I mean? That's what you do anyway as an offensive lineman and running backs, is you're going to help the chip. If you find color, hit it. That's the rule. And so if guys are getting out there in a screen route or going to a flat or whatever, and you're able to, catch a guy, hit him, take a couple plays off of him. But the same thing happened with Trent Williamson out there in San Francisco. I started looking at him, and guess what? He was getting chip help, right? We arguing he's the best tackle in the league. Well, how come they weren't saying that about him when he was getting chip help? So I think, man, just creating this narrative on OBJ, man, I don't think was fair, because everybody was saying that, and I just, like I said, I went through 6 games, and I just started counting them. It's like, okay, where's the chip at? What's the chip help? Okay, and I didn't quite see it. Now, he struggled at times, right, with his feet and getting back far enough. We got to still give him, where he wasn't able to protect like he should have. Okay, where we was talking about top tackle money, but the whole false narrative of him getting chip help all the time just wasn't true. It just wasn't.
Right. I think it was sour apples, man. I think everybody just was down on OBJ because they didn't get a deal worked out the year before, and he wanted too much money. And I don't think it was as much as his play as they wanted to make it out to be. It was more about that, in my opinion.
Right. And Angry Drunk German is saying the same thing. Yeah, Pat is crazy elusive, and Pat will take out running. You don't know what Pat's going to do back there sometime, right? I think me and Warfield would debate. I'm like, man, look, Pat's going to make yards with his legs. That's kind of what Pat does. He'll run around trying to make plays. Sometimes he'll do it, and at the detriment of the team or get him out of position. But he knows he has an arm. He can make throws. He can do things that other quarterbacks can't do. But he's very underrated as a runner. Now, the thing is, when you're blocking, pass blocking, you got a clock in your head. Okay, traditionally, it's 4 seconds. 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, 1,004. Ball should be out. Traditionally, that's how it should work. That's how the clock should run in your head. So when you're sitting over here and you're thinking about, well, if I'm sitting back and 1,001, 1,002, 1,003, next thing you see Pat run on the other side of you, he's on the inside. You're like, wait a minute, hold on. So it's going to be, one of those things that guys got to adjust. So Harry says he got more chip help than ever than Fisher and Schwartz. You know what? I haven't really looked to see how much chip help that Fisher and Schwartz got, but I do know when I seen, with Orlando Brown Jr., he wasn't getting as much help as everybody said he was. And then when I was looking at other tackles, because that was going to be, basically my argument. Well, shoot, how many other tackles getting help? I started looking at other film. These guys getting help too. But the thing is, as I know from playing the game and coaching the game, that's part of what you do. You're going to get chip help. If a guy's there and he can help, let him help. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
You know what I found is the PFF. People go to the PFF for the pressures and this and that. And people didn't want to they didn't want to say PFF was worth it. They didn't want to look at PFF as credible when they give Orlando good credit, but then when it was, but back and forth. And then I'm like, well, what counts as a pressure on PFF? Like, because Pat, by him moving in the pocket a lot, he creates his own pressure a lot.
Yes.
Boy, we called that out a bunch of times, that Pat would literally just take off and he creates that pressure. And then what's PFF going to do? That's one for OBJ. That's one for Wiley. And then another thing, how many times with our RPO do we leave guys unblocked that Pat reads and says, do we pass or whatever? That counts as a pressure, and guess who they're giving it to? The closest tackle available. And so, PFF is one of them, and I try to say this, and I know it don't go over very well. People they don't like OBJ, and it's fine. I mean, guys got your opinion, but I think he took a lot of undeserved heat, to be honest, and him and Wiley proved that they could get it done when it counted, and I think they're owed a little bit of credit for that for sure.
I do too. And I think a lot of it, like you said, where he didn't sign last year, kind of holding the team hostage. It was the people like, look, we ain't ready to go through that boat again. We just don't want to do it, right? And we don't know if you're worth top tackle money for what you're asking, from what we've seen what you were able to do last year. Can we give you something that's decent? Absolutely. I think he was definitely a top 10 tackle. I think, he was still around the cusp of, maybe, 7 or 8, maybe even more or higher up. But, without a doubt, PFF is not quantifying all those things. It's hard to measure every single stat of what a guy can do, right? They're not quantifying that Pat is retreating back 2.5 or a yard and a half more than all the other quarterbacks. They ain't putting it in the equation. So when I'm sitting there and I'm evaluating this on film, because that's what I do. I'm a film watcher from playing and, as coaching. I'm looking at it. I'm counting 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, there's Pat. I see where he's at. I see where he's sitting back. But you could also see from the junction point where defensive ends, how they rush, how they was going to get up the field. Because if I'm sitting over here and I'm a defensive coordinator and I'm telling my defensive end, listen, at a certain point, Pat's going to get there back as far as you can. Okay? And I'm gonna tell you who actually gave us away. And he said it. And they did a tremendous job against us. It was Vrabel. We played the Titans. Vrabel was sitting there saying, hey, look, man, we're going to come out there because we know Pat he's going to retreat back. So we know we got to get on the other side of the tackles. We know that. But that's what we're trying to do defensively. And Vrabel's saying this, okay? We're talking about, also outside linebacker, defensive coordinator, defensive guy.
Right.
So that's the conversation. And so I blocked enough guys in the league of the best to know, you got to beat a guy to the junction point. If you're not there and he gets up the field, that's tough to beat. It's tough to beat. You just you know the spacing where everybody is. You can feel it. You can feel where everybody is. So yeah, I think sometimes
Absolutely.
It's just undeserving hate. That's where I was at.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're gonna have to wrap up here in just a second, and we appreciate you coming on, man. It's been fun.
Appreciate it.
Just one more thing before you go. I think this will kind of help wrap up this whole thing. So just ideally, if everything went to what Jason Dunn thought should happen in this NFL draft, what is your ideal outcome? Like, if you want to go as deep as players or just position, however you want to set it up, but what does Jason Dunn want to happen with this draft?
What do I want to have in this draft? We got 10 picks. I would say I would like to have 4 picks offense and the other 6 defense. Okay. And I think that's what I would look for. I'm gonna say the first 3 picks I would prefer tackle, defensive tackle, or defensive end, and then wide receiver. We get one. That's where I'm at. I think we need to go. That line defensively has to be heavy. We got to get us some guy that's going to be able to help out Chris Jones, okay, and help out George Kalafdis on the other end. That's you want to make a splash. You want to be no doubt a dynasty. Show up your defense. Get some guys who's gonna get after the football. Okay, that will help out the offense. Okay, that will help out the offense. But I think that you need to go get you some defensive tackles going to make a difference. Defensive ends is going to make a difference, and then get you a tackle that's going to be able to protect Pat. If you find you a wide receiver, cool. I'm good with that. But that's what I'm looking for. That's it. I'll look for a little bit more defensive heavy on the line last year because it seemed like we were scrounging around to get guys in camp and all that. I don't like that. I don't like trying to get defensive ends late and. This guy's been sitting on the couch eating ice cream and popcorn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
I hear you. But, man, that sounds good. I think we all can agree. Pat needs this jersey got to stay clean this year and keep adding defense. I think you build defense through the draft and you can pay some players on offense in the offseason. And we've kind of done that a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, dude. We appreciate you being here. Like I said, I went back. You caught a TD at the first game I ever attended in Cincinnati. And we lost that game. But I tell you what, it didn't matter. It didn't matter.
That was that the one that Chad Johnson guaranteed to win?
Yes, and bought ice cream for everybody.
He bought ice cream for everybody, man.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think Chiefs were like 9-0 or 10-0 at that point.
9-0. Yes.
Yep.
It was horrible. The little kids were we were having to cross the bridge to get back into Kentucky on foot.
Yeah.
And these little Cincinnati Bengals kids, like 6 years old, saying "Who Day" in my face. I wanted to flip them over the bridge. I didn't do it. But I tell you though, two things are true here. One, you got to come back on after the draft. We're going to talk about who they picked. So, absolutely. And then number two, me and Steve's going to make a drive out there. We're going to eat some barbecue.
Come on, man. Come on down. I'm going to show you some good barbecue in Kentucky, right? Okay.
Awesome, bro.
I'm down.
Yeah, man. We'll hit you up on Twitter. We'll give you our number or something. Text us when you're going to go eat barbecue. Right. We'll go meet you.
Sounds good. All right, fellas.
Okay, man. We appreciate you being here, dude.
All right, no doubt.
Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Chief Concerns, make sure to do that. We'll put the link in the description and everything. So,
absolutely.
Take care, Jason.
All right, fellas. Y'all be good. Appreciate
Have a good one, man.
All right.
All right.
Okay,
That was
Steve.
fun, dude. That was a good time. I know you got to get going.
I do, man.
But just real quick before you do, I just want to tell everybody thanks for being here. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to hit that sub button. All of you other guys, make sure to hit that like button on your way out. It'll help us out, get this thing in the algorithm a little bit. Fun conversation with Jason Dunn. I enjoyed it. Let us know if you guys enjoyed it. And who else should we have on? We will be back Saturday night with a live. So keep on the lookout for that. We'll just be hanging out, just talking to you guys. No big agenda, but we will have Matt Lane from KCSN on. We'll talk draft a little bit. Try to be a little more, what's the word I'm looking for here? Interactive, I guess. And take more of your questions and everything like that. So that'll be fun, man.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hitting that like button. If everybody can smash that before they head out. Thanks for commenting and stuff as always. It's fun talking to you guys. We love it. And yeah, we're going to be back on Saturday Night Live with All Chiefed Up. It's going to be a good time. And we may even sneak it a Sunday one if you guys show out for us on Saturday. Who knows? But yeah, man, I got to head out. So appreciate you guys being here. Y'all have a good one, man.